Welcome to New Gameplay. Today, I am Kyle Hilliard here with Marcus Stewart. What's up, Marcus?
Hey, what's up, Kyle? I'm doing good.
We are taking a look at this game, Eternights. Eternights, which is, by their pitch, is like an action RPG dating sim, which is like a weird pitch that I kind of like. Like, just on a base level, I'm like, all right, I'm listening. You have my attention now.
It's kind of, it's like it reminds me of a little bit, like maybe not stylistically, but Boyfriend Dungeon. Wasn't that like a similar thing?
Yeah, I think I didn't play Boyfriend Dungeon, but I think they're probably kind of in the same school, you know? Like if you're a fan of that, you might be a fan of this kind of situation, even though I think they probably play a little differently. But yeah, so this is I have a preview build of the game here, which gave me access to about the first hour, give or take. And what happened was like the game just starts. You and your pal are just weird friends, teenagers, coming of age, and then this weird apocalypse happens where there are like zombies and monsters and stuff, and this wall just appeared like around the whole Earth, apparently. and you guys went underground, and now this is your first time out exploring after a couple days.
Oh my god, what is oh my god.
I kind of wanted to show this cutscene just to kind of give you an idea of like where this game is at in terms of like what it looks like and how brutal it gets, and it's like leans into the scary monster angle of it all.
So I guess she's not an important character.
No, they actually, to their writing credit, they did a pretty good job of making her pretty unlikable from the moment you met her.
Oh, okay, so she had it coming, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's you and your friend Chani, who's like your male friend, and then you found this girl underground here named Yuna, who's actually like a big celebrity pop star woman.
Okay.
And so Chani knows who it is, and I died. Yeah,
I was gonna say, like, why did your friends split off? Like, you guys were together, and then you took like a left at Albuquerque, and it ended up costing your life. Could you follow them, or was that supposed to happen?
No, I just outran them, is what it was. And it's actually, there's a little bit of a story conceit that shows up later.
You outran them, but you got caught first.
Yeah, I outran them, but I got caught first. I made it this time. But they actually do have a bit of a story conceit later for like the monsters only seem to be attacking you because you're special.
Of course.
Yeah, that's how it goes. And this is like a good example of like a quick dating sim choice. Like, do you hang out with your friend or do you hang out with Yuna in the locker? So I decided to go with Yuna.
Is there anything romantic about this situation? Of like, does it matter? We're just trying not to die.
I mean, it looks pretty romantic to me, don't you think, Marcus? Hanging out with this lovely pop star in a locker outrunning a monster?
It's like, hey, we just watched our maybe friend just get brutally murdered in front of us, and we're being actively chased by a killing machine, but hey, what are you doing after this?
I mean, I think that's kind of the pitch of the game. Like, honestly, because it is like absurd that you're like in the middle of this apocalypse, but you still have these moments where you're like trying to make connections with people and like go on dates and stuff, which is like kind of funky and weird. I don't know. I kind of think it's funny.
No, that's great. I mean, does it know that it's silly?
That's always the question, man. I can't answer that. I don't know if they're prepared to answer it. Former Game Informer editor, now you know from YouTube, and MinMax Leo Vader once joked that at the end of games, they just need to put in the credits, this was meant to be stupid. Like, they just they need to put that. They need to make it clear which way they were leaning.
So what's the story with the protagonist? He's got like the Kratos like red stripe on his face. What's that all about?
His face is bleeding, is what happened.
Oh, that's a blood streak?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're not Kratos. Yeah, but it does look like it. And she just healed you, which was like a big surprise. You guys don't know what's going on. Chani is very surprised by this. Yeah, she's not a witch, Marcus. Why would you assume that?
I was going to ask, like, are witches a thing in it? It's like, witch is very specific. You could have just said, like, oh my god, you have powers, but like, are witches a thing in this world, or?
No, I don't think so. I think this is just supposed to be contemporary, 2023 world or whatever. So for her to have healing powers is confusing.
Gotcha. Kyle, this game is strange. I don't know if you realize that.
It's very strange. And I was thinking we'd skip ahead a little bit here, and I would show off some of the combat, so we can just see what the fighting looks like in the game. You ready for that, Marcus?
Yeah, let's see. I want to see some romantic combat.
Okay, Marcus, so this jumps us ahead. In the story of the game, we're out of the underground. We actually got on a train, but the train stopped, and now we're exploring the city. And you get to see a little bit of the combat here. This is actually like a little, like not quite a full boss, but like I guess a mini boss.
Okay, and I wasn't expecting it to be sort of like third-person action. I don't know, in my head I thought maybe turn-based, but is it
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that surprised me too, because those dating genre combined with like action like this is like atypical. Right? You don't see that a lot.
How does the combat feel? Like, it's speaking to me as a fan of stylus action. I'm like, ooh, this looks like the stuff that I like, but does it feel pretty good?
It feels pretty good. I was actually been pretty impressed with it. Like, it's a lot of like I wasn't doing a lot of combos. I was mostly focusing on X, just tapping X. But you have you'll see like the enemy flashes red, and if you press A at the right moment, you do like a dodge and things slow down. It's kind of like in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, you know, where everything slows down. And you can kind of just like volley on someone for a few seconds in slow motion. There you go.
Right.
See it? Pulled it off there. And then you can build up to like a death blow, which is like, you know, you just press B to kind of do one powerful stab. And then the other thing, which I kind of, you know, zoomed past, is you build up another meter where you can press the left bumper to kind of do like a QTE event to like break through shields and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, are your friends helping you out, or are they like a party where they're AI controlled, or is it just you handling all the combat?
So Chani seems to be fully useless, your male friend that you start the game with. And I'm guessing, to the point where I'm thinking that's actually going to be part of the story, where he just feels useless because he can't do anything. But Yuna has the ability to, like, heal you. And you can sort of call on her to plop down, like, a little spot on the battlefield where if you stand in it, you heal.
Okay.
So, like, my strategy in one point was, like, I was fighting a boss, and because I was just comboing like crazy in that one place, I was just like, oh, put a healing spot here while I'm standing in front of the boss comboing. That'll help me out.
Gotcha.
And this is like a door, but you get to do like a little combat challenge where you just have to dodge correctly to sort of get through, which is nice, you know. Just give you a little something to do there.
It's getting very dark, I'm noticing. Like,
yeah,
I mean, like, lighting-wise.
Right. I think I'm just saving here, yeah. And you do have like I couldn't dig into it because I didn't like unlock enough like experience or anything, but you do have like a skill tree as well. And the calendar, which is like on screen all the time, June 3rd, seems to be very important. Like I think it's very Persona inspired.
Right.
Where you actually are tracking the seasons in the day, and that helps you track your sort of relationships that you're building with people. That's my sort of assumption based on my limited playtime here.
There's definitely some Persona around the edges, like even those like transitions, like how stylish they are. They give me some like Persona 5 vibes. Yeah,
which is a compliment. You know, like that is a game that does have dating sim aspects inside of a big RPG, and this is, you know, maybe I would go so far as to say a stylish action game with some light, you know, RPG mechanics inside of a dating sim, which is cool. Like, if it all comes together, I'm into it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It looks like you're doing this. I thought this was a cutscene explaining how to do the puzzle, but it went on for so long and it was so awkward that I was like, oh, actually, I think this is just Kyle.
What are you trying to say about my abilities
I was like,
here, Marcus?
What a strange tutorial. They're really just dragging us out.
Yeah. Oh, another thing I want to compliment, again, this is just the first hour of the game, voice acting, pretty good. Solid performances. I was happy with it, you know?
Who's your favorite?
I do like Chani's performance. He's funny.
Okay. And have you had a chance to, grow attached to anyone? Is there anyone that you found yourself trying to actively court as you're running for your lives and fighting monsters?
Well, I'm already deeply in love with Yuna.
I mean, she does heal you.
She's
so.
such a sweetheart. She heals me. But it's also, it's cheating because it's like, well, this is the first person I met. Of course I'm going to, I'm spending the most time with her.
That's how life works, right? The first person you meet is usually...
That's right.
It's the one. Oh,
sometimes you die. Maybe not you when you play this game, but I got a game over.
Nah.
But yeah, I mean, like, positive impressions out of the gate, like good performances, like good combat. I think some of the sort of presentation leaves a little bit to be desired, just like the fonts on Game Over and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is like a weird thing to call out, but it's also a thing that's like doesn't really actively pull down the gameplay, so it's like hard to be too upset with it or anything like that. But maybe because I'm reminded of Persona, and Persona is the most stylish game ever created, arguably, that it's when you look at this, you're kind of like, well, it's not as good as Persona.
Yeah. I mean, it looks cool. Again, I like stylized action. I like dungeon crawlers and like dating sims. It depends on the game, but
yeah, same. Yeah.
It looks like a fun like blend of those. Like, if nothing else, just the like, I'm still flashing back to that poor girl's death at the beginning. Where
oh, right.
I'm just like, oh my god. I kind of want to see where else this game goes if they're willing to do that.
Yeah, I mean, not to say like, oh, I love seeing characters get brutally murdered like that, but it does sort of set the stage, right? Of like, oh, this game can go dark and is willing to do some surprising things.
And it makes me afraid of like, if I fall in love with someone, are they gonna do something to them? Like, is this just like a ruse to get me to get attached to a girl and then they just cut her head off later on?
Oh god, yeah, I don't know. I hope not.
Oh, who's that?
Hey, you got the same questions as Yuna.
Yeah, she's the one. That's why
she's the one. In fact, this is a good excuse to kind of we'll jump ahead one more time just to kind of show a little bit where it looks more like a proper dating sim, if that makes sense.
Is that a flesh bat?
Yeah, it's your standard everyday flesh bat, Marcus. I don't know you're confused about. So again, this is past sort of the combat scenario I just showed off, and we're like we're back on that train that I mentioned earlier, and because through a series of events, Yuna got upset for very understandable reasons. So you went to sort of console her and talk to her, and this is all like a backstory that she sort of gives you, where she was like, "I was a pop star. It's really hard to make friends as a pop star. I had this one friend who was a pop star, but she got in trouble with the paparazzi. She was seen at a bar drinking."
How dare she?
It ruined her career, and I felt terrible, and I didn't know how to defend her. It was a whole thing.
I think that's a pretty easy defense. Like, hey, my friend just wants to drink.
Yeah. No, I guess in the context of the game, they're both teenagers because they're young.
They're underage.
I think so. Like, it was apparently a big deal, right? See, this photo of her at a bar surfaced on social media, and then her management told her not to come to her friend's defense.
Right. And is this what triggered the apocalypse?
I don't think so, but maybe. There's no way to know for sure until we play the full game. We discover that this is. But the reason I kind of wanted to show it was just because it feels very like you're really getting to know this character and getting a chance to sort of like her and know where she's coming from and why she feels the way she feels about things, because she had these events in her life.
Right.
And then then you get the chance to kind of make decisions about the conversation.
I like that they don't have to turn the light on because the character's like glowing arm.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a whole bit that we skipped over. But yeah, you have a glowing arm that's where all your combat abilities come from.
It's like he really needs to be sitting on the opposite end, because then he could do the really like cool guy, put the arm around her, but he could do it with his glowing hand. I don't think he's really taking full advantage of his at least the romantic potential of that arm.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. See, this is where you're smart, Marcus.
Also, I guess you named yourself Kyle. I was like, wait, his name's Kyle?
Yeah. Wow. What a coincidence. Yeah. No idea why it's Kyle.
Okay. But, yeah, rank 1.
Yeah. So just to show off, like, that you sort of generate relationships with people that are tracked by statistics, and there are other people in the game that you can generate relationships with. But I only really met Yuna over the course of this preview build.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I like the pitch of the game, right? Like, cool-looking action game with dating sim mechanics, like, and it's got a cool look to it, right?
Yeah.
And I liked what I played, which was only an hour. It definitely has some shortcomings, But I want to see more of it. I want to see who else you can develop relationships with and who else you meet over the course of this a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah, I want to see how they weave the relationship stuff into the plot itself. You know, like,
Yeah.
is it just something that's on the side? Like, does it have any real bearing on the main story who you decide to, court? And, like, what's the consequence of that? Like, if I don't date someone, is something bad going to happen to them? Like, I actually want to see how they, if they even weave those two elements together. But, Kyle, that game looks weird as hell. It looks insane in some parts, but I'm intrigued. I kind of had this game on my radar, but now it's even more on my radar, I guess. Like, now I'm, like, thinking about it, and I'm like, I kind of want to see more of that weird thing.
I'm 100% with you. I am absolutely intrigued. Like, I was always intrigued, and playing it for an hour, I'm, like, even more intrigued now. And it looks like it is planned for this year.
Right.
And it's going to be PS4 and PS5 and PC are the platforms it's currently planned for. One-player action RPG with dating sim inside of it from Studio Psy is the developer. But yeah, Eternights coming soon. Thanks for checking it out with me, Marcus. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.